You're saying? No. It depends. It depends on the social fabric and social values in a particular society that drive relationships like that. In an Islamic society, for example, I'm talking for Islam now. In a Muslim society, that wouldn't be the case, because the system and the guidance or the moral teachings of that particular society are driven by different sources.
Which society are you talking about?
I'm talking about, let's say, a Muslim society.
Yeah, but which one?
Anyone.
Well, not
From Morocco to Bangladesh.
Well, you're saying there's a particular Muslim societies who uphold Islamic ideals,
and they are less likely.
Which breaks the link to child abuse. That's what
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they are less likely because of Islamic.
But you've got no statistical evidence.
No, I don't. I don't have any statistical evidence for that. But I know.
Common sense might back it up.
Yeah, because our social norms are different to what we find in the West. In the Muslim lands, if you go there, you see different values. Not necessarily morality. I'm not talking about moral values. I'm talking about culture. Let's say. Okay, let's use the word culture. In the Muslim lands, culture is slightly different to what we find in the Western lands. Okay, even how families interact with each other, even how parents interact with the children. Right? You will see children and parents interacting differently in the Muslim lands than they do in the Western lands. Okay, when I say the West, I mean it's a loose term, and I'm talking about the Western civilization. No, not Christendom particularly. No.
What do you mean by the West?
I mean Western Europe, America, Canada, and even South America, even Australia, South Africa, places like that. English-speaking world, or not even English, Spanish.
It just feels to me that you're
Because
picking out an idealistic.
you can say Judeo-Christian civilization. You can call it that, but it's no longer Judeo-Christian, unfortunately. but let's say loosely Judeo-Christian civilization.
Based on the Old and New Testament?
Not anymore. Even originally, yes.
And where did that cut off?
Sorry?
Which century did that end?
Last century more so.
20th?
Yeah,
Right.
more so last
With the end
century.
of empire?
Sorry?
With the end of empire?
With the end of empire, with the decline of religion in the West.
Does Israel reflect the end
Sorry?
of empire? Do you think Israel, the state of Israel, reflects
No. State of Israel has nothing to do with it.
Is it a colonial entity?
Religion was already on decline or in decline before the state of Israel. It happened more so in the 18th century, the Enlightenment period.
Economic industrialization?
Yeah, absolutely. And colonialism had something to do with it. And afterwards, economic prosperity and questioning of Christian values and Christian religion and the Bible and some of the beliefs. And all of this put together, lo and behold, the West is no longer Christian. Generally speaking. Western Europe, I must say. Western Europe.
Just
Yeah.
without
Christendom.
It's not Christendom anymore. Not Western Europe.
Without the statistical information, it seems like you're picking out an idealistic view of a very good Muslim family culture.
Correct.
However,
You're right.
So it's kind of, some people could say a very good Christian or a very good humanitarian.
Absolutely.
So
I agree.
It doesn't really argue the fact, because I think within some Muslim cultures, and you can correct me though I could very well be wrong. In Pakistan, there's quite a lot of marriage of young people with older adults.
Correct.
So even culturally within that, and also if you were to ask pretty much anyone in the UK, what do they think about their neighbour's culture in regard to child abuse? I think that most people say, well, I don't see it. But it is there, and it's quite extensive. And I could say, I would reckon it's probably the case the world around, regardless of culture.
Look, child abuse is a global phenomenon. It's not only, it's not happening in the Western lands alone. It's happening everywhere. It's a global phenomenon. And I believe pornography is directly linked to it. Pornography is a direct driver. It is a direct influencer of child abuse globally. And this is statistically proven. In societies like India, for example, pornography has directly impacted people's minds and India is a rape capital of the world.
Are you talking about child abuse or rape?
Both.
Well,
Both.
let's keep it-
The line is very thin in many societies. The line is very thin, unfortunately, right? So I believe pornography is a direct driver. It is a direct influencer of that behavior in the world. It has become more widespread now than it was previously. Let's say in the 20th century, the first half of the 20th century, let's say 1950s. Only after 1950s, when pornography was made widespread, first through VHS videotapes, and then later on the internet boom, and now one click away.
You could say the same about piety is a driver for child abuse. So those people in the Roman Catholic Church who joined that
I don't agree with that.
are high levels of child abuse.
No, even Roman Catholic priests are affected by pornography. Even they are. Because Roman Catholics, they don't live outside.
Prior to pornography, prior to 1950,
But then we have no evidence whether Roman Catholic priests were abusing children or not. No, no, not on the same. No, I will never accept unless you produce some scientific evidence from archives of the church or from medieval chronicles that there were Catholic priests and monks and clergy abusing children en masse.
I think if you look at
Until you provide evidence to that effect.
Okay, as long as we're equal terms, if you provide all your evidence too, then we're both.
Yeah, at least I'm accepting that I don't have evidence for certain claims of mine. I don't,
I
right?
think there is, even in the 1940s, 30s, 20s, there was people who were in living memory who are now, would be now 100, but 40 years ago,
I agree.
will have referred to it quite extensively about the
Let me clarify.
about the abuse of the Roman
Let me
Catholic
clarify.
Church.
You're absolutely right. I'm not denying the existence of the phenomenon. It is human. It has always existed,
What I
right?
said was-
I'm talking about the escalation
No, but what I-
in magnitude.
If we're looking at correlate aspects,
Yeah.
you're saying pornography is one. I'm saying that
It is a major one.
you could say that being a priest in the Roman Catholic Church is a correlate.
No, because the connection, the link doesn't exist. Why? While there are individual cases, maybe before pornography, let's say the era of no pornography, 1950s backwards.
Not the error of
The era, my accent, sorry. Okay, let's say 1950s backwards. Okay, the phenomenon is there. While individual priests might have done it, and imams, they might have done it, right? That doesn't make all the priests, all the Roman Catholic priests or Anglican priests or Anglican clergy or.
So in the same way as people using pornography doesn't make them a paedophile, being a priest doesn't make them a paedophile.
No.
But there is a correlate
No,
between the two.
I'm saying the magnitude. Magnitude. Yeah.
What he just said is what you mean. You both agree.
Yeah. I'm saying the magnitude after pornography. There is scientific evidence to prove that pornography is a direct driver of rape and child abuse. There is scientific evidence available. I'm not making this up. This is not what I think. I can give you references, scientific journals written by sociologists and people who have worked on this, and they have collected data. Like one example I gave was Diana E. Russell. Diana E. Russell has published for Oxford University, and she has made these points and many more. Pornography's impact on women, on children, on society at large, on rape victims and the rapists, and all of that put together. So pornography, if anything, is a huge driver to destroy our societies in many different ways. Okay, and this is something I'm talking about. If that's the case, why is it legal? Why is it legal is the question.
It's the same for alcohol, nicotine, a lot of things.
Thank you. Why are these things legal? Alcohol is one of the greatest drivers of crime on weekends. In Britain, 80% of violent crimes in Britain are committed due to alcohol consumption. And why is it legal?
Marriage also includes a lot
It's
of
business,
domestic
so money is more important than human lives.
But it's not built into the drug itself. Yeah, alcohol inherently will disinhibit you and encourage. Yeah, I'm afraid I think your points are sound.
Yes.
The question is, what's your solution?
And my solution is Islam for myself.
See, that was a massive quantum leap jump.
Yeah,
I think
it is.
you made some good
Absolutely.
points, but to go all the
Because
way to-
Islamic philosophy, if you look at it, Islam is a way of life. It prohibits intoxicants, okay? It prohibits pornography or promiscuity of any form, okay? It allows legal relationships.
Yep.
Okay, you can get married, okay? There is Adam and Eve, right? There's no Adam and Steve,
yeah,
right?
hang on, you
Okay.
just
That
said-
kind of thing
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah,
go
that
down very
doesn't
well.
work.
Okay.
But you know, the other
No,
thing,
I'm not. Look,
can I just say one?
no insult meant.
Yeah, no,
No
but-
insult.
no, the-
No
but
insult
it's
meant.
just not
I'm
very
saying.
good.
Fine
Yeah.
to be insulted.
But the-
No, I don't want to
but
insult people.
the
I don't
point
want to
is-
insult people. That's not what I meant.
And
when-
as you say,
Yeah.
it prevents it's haram to drink alcohol, really to smoke, to hit your wife. That's haram.
100%.
Not 100%.
No, it is. It is.
Okay.
When you
but
say hit, it is haram.
in strike in
Yeah.
Islam,
Yeah.
you're allowed to marry more than one.
Absolutely.
How
Four.
many?
Four.
So if we think about the outcome of a perfect world in Islam, where people, and you can only marry four wives when you have the means to provide for those wives, both emotionally and financially.
Generally, yes. You're right.
Yeah.
Generally.
According
Yeah.
to the guidelines.
Yeah.
So the result, interestingly, I wonder what would happen if that's extrapolated by the very emotionally aware and the rich having four wives. What's going to happen to all the men who do not have wives? And what's going to happen to their kind of sexual energy and their behaviour?
People who live, you see, no, people, people generally get married within their social circles, right? Yeah, they get married to women within their social circles, right? So a rich man will not go and find a wife in a hut, and vice versa. A poor man living in a hut is not going to find a wife in the palace,
The poor
right?
man in the
right?
hut who
Yeah.
has one thing.
No, he can have four wives.
Compared to the poor man.
He can have four wives from four different huts,
Yeah.
and he can keep them in those huts,
Yeah.
and he can visit them each hut a different day.
There's a social hierarchy in
Yeah.
every group.
Yes.
So you're saying that a rich man won't marry a poor girl.
Generally, no.
Generally,
Why would he?
according to what?
Why would he?
Well, you can look at.
Unless the woman has exceptional qualities, he comes to realize the woman is special. She's
But statistically, even if in a poorer society marry amongst themselves, statistically you're always going to get hierarchy, and they're going to marry more people, which is going to leave a lot of men unmarried.
not necessarily. No.
Not necessarily, but
No,
taken to the
no.
extreme.
If women are willing to live with a man with bare basics, right?
And if they're not,
And if they're not going to get married. There's
That's going
no
to be-
forcing of marriage in
once
Islam.
You can have 1 to 4.
Yeah.
You're statistically going to. Your argument is that Islam is the answer to some of these sociological problems.
Yes, because
And
there are
I-
more
and-
women
and
in
I-
the world, by the
No,
way.
there are.
There are.
No.
There are only two exceptions. There are only two exceptions. India and China. The rest of the world, statistically, there are more women in the world.
No. The
How-
Not by
the,
much.
re- the
Not by
reason.
much.
the
No,
point-
yeah, that's
He's talking a
that's a
4:1
discussion.
ratio.
By
You can't
birth,
duck that.
it's the same, but because women live longer, there are more remaining women in the world. But we're talking about a marriageable
At a marriageable age.
point.
But same goes for men. A 60 years old man is not going to get married to a 17 years old girl. Is
Muhammad
he?
was 54.
Did the woman kill Jesus?
Muhammad was 54.
Oh, that was in the 7th century.
Okay, but you
And
said-
the English law allowed it up to 7. Did you know
You
that?
just told me
Yeah.
that a
Islam claimed that a
6-year-old man
woman killed
wouldn't marry
Jesus.
a
Sorry?
young girl.
Does Islam claim that a woman killed Jesus?
No. Islam doesn't claim that Jesus was killed.
But the point is that
Yeah.
your argument is that Islam is the answer, but actually
It is, yes.
But actually, if Islam was taken to the extreme, and it could be, or even it's not the extreme within Islam, it's just this marriage of many people, the hierarchy of society.
First, let me explain something to you.
Even now,
This is not what Islam promotes, first of all. I think you're having a misconception. You're assuming an Islam where every man must have 4 wives. That's a misconception.
But you could
That's
hide it might be a bigger
no,
problem. It
because
probably
the
would be.
Quran specifically states in the very verse, yeah, marry only one, because you won't be able to do justice.
No, it doesn't. It says marry only one if you can't do justice.
Yes, and
very
then
different.
and it says you cannot do justice.
38 under the woman.
But it says you cannot do justice. In the same verse, it says marry only one. If you cannot,
You cannot.
and you will not, and you will not. The Quran says that. You want me to read?
Surah 38 of the woman.
No, Surah 4. Surah 4. It says clearly, marry only one, because you will not be able to do justice.
The context.
That's the context.
No, the context isn't the context.
Okay, I will bring the Quran to you right now. I will read it to you. So you have a misconception that every Muslim man has to have 4 wives.
Don't straw man what I'm saying.
Okay.
I did not say that.
Right.
I said that what we know.
So realistically, that will never happen.
Sir, what
Throughout
we-
the Muslim history,
what
that's
we-
never happened.
Yeah. So what we do know in society.
It's an option.
So what we do know in
Yeah.
society,
Yeah.
particular with dating apps, is that you've got a very the high scoring, high rating men are. The
Can you
top
bring me a Quran from
20%
Ali?
of men
Ali.
are being pursued by the top 60% of women.
Right.
Yeah. And this is causing an imbalance, because this is statistically occurring. This is causing imbalance in many social ways, which I won't go into now. But as a result, what happens is that often a woman is going to look for a high-ranking man, and if that high-ranking man can then marry several women, that's going to leave a lot of low-ranking men single.
No.
What is the impact of that in society?
Okay.
If that was to happen?
The 20%
Okay.
who have access to 60%.
The verse you were-
have 4 each.
The verse you were referring to
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm saying.
chapter 4, verse 3.
There's another 80.
I didn't refer to those.
Oh, that's the only verse that addresses marrying 4 women. That's the only verse in the Quran.
Is it the
Chapter
of
4,
the
verse 3.
woman? Is it
Yeah,
the woman?
yeah, verse 3.
I think
It
it's
says,
verse
and
38.
if you fear that you will not deal justly with the orphan girls, then marry those that please you of other women, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only one or those you right hands possess. Okay, that is more suitable, that you may not incline to
Who
injustice.
are the ones that only your right hand?
Captives of war.
So you can have sex with the captors of war,
Yeah.
your 4 wives, but if you
Islamically,
if you fear that you cannot be just to your 4 wives, then marry only one, which is actually what I said.
Yes.
You're reinforcing what I said.
No, I'm saying, the Quran is saying, if you cannot do justice,
No, if
okay?
you fear you cannot do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And most people fear that.
Well, now you're telling me what most people feel.
Yeah.
I think you'll find that actually I quoted it correctly. Yeah, you did.
Maybe we're misunderstanding each other. Because I was under the impression you're saying that Islam somehow prescribes.
No.
Okay.
You straw man me on that.
Okay.
I did not say that.
Okay,
I
then
said society does various things. I didn't say that it prescribes for women. I said society means that actually people are going through a hierarchy in relationships, and that the risk is that if that because the Quran allows a marriage of four wives, that it's going to leave a disproportionate number of people who are going to be going to pornography to satisfy their needs, or other
because they can't marry 4 women?
no, because they're not married at all, because there are no women left.
That's all.
But that's never going to be the case.
Well, how do you know?
Because that's never been the case in human history.
Well, neither.
Because men died in wars, okay? Men, hundreds of thousands, died in wars.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why this stipulation was there, right hand and possessed, because when wars happened in the past, hundreds of thousands of women were left without any guardians. So there are 2 options of the women. They prostitute themselves, okay, or they come into custody of someone, and they were taken from
Custody meaning what? What's your definition of
under the supervision of a man,
Ownership.
right? Yeah, we can say ownership. Yeah, servitude. It's servitude.
Yeah.
It's servitude.
Why can't
Okay.
a woman
Yeah.
marry 4 men?
Sorry,
Why can't a woman marry 4 men?
because
God knows what.
no, because it has a lot to do with men's nature. Okay, if you want me to give rational reasons as to why that be the case, is because if a woman is married to 4 men, let's take it practically, right?
In the
a
7th
woman,
century
a
or in the
woman,
22nd
a
or
woman,
21st?
a woman has 4 men,
Now,
and she's wanted by all 4 of them. Men's nature is different to women. Agreed? Yes. Okay. So men.
Is it though?
Well, what you think? Women and men are the same?
No. Maybe they are. Maybe they are though. Like maybe that physically they're not. Right?
No.
But maybe
even
the nature is essentially
emotionally,
the same.
emotionally. Are you married?
No.
So you're the wrong person to talk to
Why?
about this.
No. Why?
because
Explain that one.
because if you were married, if you had a wife, you would know that emotionally she's not the same as you.
No, I understand.
Okay, I'm not
that.
saying intellectually. Intellectually,
no.
in some cases, women are higher.
Physically.
They are more
No.
intellectually.
Emotionally,
They are more intelligent
No,
than the
we're
men,
talking about a
right?
quintessential nature.
Because I'm saying emotionally.
Nature.
They're higher. Women are higher.
Nature.
emotionally.
Why can a woman
how-
not have 4 husbands?
They communicate.
I'm explaining. Okay, let's say a woman has 4 partners. Okay,
That she married.
each and every
They're all
single
in service
wait,
to her,
wait.
or servitude.
Each and every single one of them wants
A baby
his wife or his girl to be with him.
on Monday.
Right? Oh, not on Monday.
On
Not on
Tuesday
Monday. Okay. What is likely to happen? Each and every single one of them wants his girl with him on that day. So there is one candidate and there are 3 others. So what's going to happen?
Fight.
Huh?
You don't
Gonna
think
compete against
jealousy
each other.
happens amongst
Sorry.
wives?
It does. It does. But it takes different form. It doesn't take the form it would with men. Do you agree or not?
Why is
Let's
that no?
let's okay. How do you mean you don't know?
told me what
Okay,
the form
okay,
is yet.
okay,
You're alluding to
okay.
it,
Let's
but you're not
let's see,
expressing it.
let's see, let's see. Okay, there's another issue now. There's another issue. That woman with 4 partners gets pregnant, right? All 4 of them, they need the woman. She gets 6 months. Her
6 months
wait. She has a stomach,
Yep.
right? And
She
now
can only have
all
one
three, the other 3, they want to have her, right?
In
Do you
6
think?
months.
Yeah, no. After 6 months, let's say before 6 months, they made an agreement. They came together. They agreed to some terms, and they agreed, right? Now for 3 months, obviously, it's not. You know the details. You don't want me
So
to get
maybe those
grim.
3
You don't want
need
me to get
another-
grim,
Hold
right?
on,
I'm giving you practical reasons why it's not practical. Why it's not practically possible for a woman to successfully have 4 partners unless those partners are Buddhist monks, right? And they are completely in harmony with each other, and they have taken injections of peace and harmony,
So they
right?
become
And they're not gonna because if they have jealousy, if they have passion for their woman, if they want to have her every day, like many men do, right? There is no peace there. That one woman will become a cause of destruction, wars, killing, GBH, ABH, all of that put together. And you know what I'm talking about. So it's not practical for one woman. Let me speak. It's not practical because she's having menstrual cycles, right? So 7 days are gone in a month. So those 21 days left for those 4 men.
What about
Right?
one can
And
have
every
the-
single one of them wants to
one
have
man
her
can
on
have
every
the-
single
can
day.
have the red week.
Right?
One man can have red week.
Sorry?
One man could have the red week. One man could have the.
And wait, if all 4 men want to have the woman on the same day, and they want to have her, I mean, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry, because these questions are coming up, and we have to, and each and every single one of them wants to have her like 2 or 3 times a day. Some men do, right? They love their wives, they feel passionate about them,
Some
right?
women want
So
to
let's say
have
all
their
4 of
man.
them are equally passionate. What's going to happen to the woman? What's going to happen to the woman? A woman alone, she is alone. She has 4 partners, 4 men, all of them healthy, gym-going guys, having pumping, not steroids, but maybe supplements and all that, right? All of them want the woman in one day, and every single one of them wants to have her multiple times. What's going to happen to the woman? You tell me.
Should be shacked out.
What's going to happen to the woman? You tell me. But if you reverse it, no, not knackered. Come on. And if this continues every day for a month,
If you
what's going to
reverse
hape
it,
to the woman?
if you
So
reverse it.
now, reverse it.
Yeah.
Reverse it. Okay, a man has 4 wives.
Yeah.
Okay, naturally speaking, right? He can go all. I mean,
Socially or
if he's healthy, if a man is healthy, right, he doesn't have any problems. He can go all 4 of them in one day, and satisfy them.
Yeah?
Yes,
Can you satisfy them, all 4 of them, 3 times a day?
Machine.
possible. It's possible. It's possible with some men.
So it's possible.
Not every
What's
day.
this fella eating? What's this fella eating?
If you're talking about naturally, women can have more sex than men.
Definitely.
Okay.
Simply.
Okay.
So that refutes
Okay.
your point. And to be honest, it's a bit of a culture
Listen.
crack, really.
No. I'm. What I'm saying is, naturally or generally speaking, every day, for 1 month with 4 men, I want you to think justly, and think.
What do you think sex workers do?
I wouldn't like to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to think.
Hundreds.
I wouldn't like to
What if
think.
the woman has
They-
economic purchasing power, so she's paying that man to be there? Times
And
4.
what happens to them in 2-3 months?
Well,
What
people
happens
do
to
that
them?
for years. But
Okay.
anyway, the
I mean,
point
if you
is-
go and read journals. I mean, the very good point you made. Pornography actors, these women, right? Go and check them out. Look at the kind of medical problems they have.
Well, they-
no, have you read on
they
them?
have got-
Have you read?
They have got particular
Okay,
men.
so-
haven't they?
so-
They've
so-
got particular men.
You see,
They are selective.
you see.
They are
So
selective men.
practically speaking,
Listen. This is basically what you're describing. Is you're saying naturally, but actually you're not using that definition in a realistic way when you're actually mixing biology.
Look,
wait.
we have many reasons.
Biology and sociology, and you're misrepresenting. But what you're actually misrepresenting is you're justifying a system of one man having 4 wives.
no, I'm
as-
not. I'm saying
wait.
when it's needed,
What I'm saying is that
when
you're
it's needed-
justifying that thing. You're saying that that it won't work the other way around, but you're giving kind of misinformation about that.
How?
Because you said about having so many the woman having so many men per day. Isn't it ruled in Islam about how many of your wives you can sleep with in a day?
No, there's no
There
rules.
isn't. You
No.
can sleep with her.
What about in
Yeah.
Christian?
Yeah.
What about in space?
Yeah.
Can you do that in Christendom?
I don't know.
But if
the
God
point
made
is-
it- hold on,
In
hold on,
Islam,
hold on.
in Islam, wives have rights.
If God made the world in 7 days
I'm
and he
not
had 1 day's
Christian.
rest, could a Christian take 6 wives?
I'm not Christian. So the thing with
So
with-
why attack
I-
Islam?
I'm talking to a Muslim. I would attack Christian.
Is it, okay, so you would attack a religion? Is that
Okay.
your general?
No, he's not attacking. We're having a conversation.
Hold on,
We're having a
how are you
conversation.
in Jesus Christ into this if you're not a
Okay.
Christian?
No, he's having a conversation.
I'm
He's
having
not.
a conversation
Yeah,
to
yeah.
clarify
It's
things.
okay. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm not attacking.
Yeah, no, he's not attacking. No.
So the point you didn't answer, because I think you're a bit mislaid with the numbers, but statistically, what's going to happen to society when there are a lot of men who are, because of perhaps low status or whatever reason, on one level or another, are left single? What happens in that kind of society when you've got a bigger
When men are left single,
Yeah.
we have societies like that.
Yeah.
We have places like Lebanon,
Yeah.
Jordan,
Yeah.
where the dowry is very, very high. So we have an increasing number of men who are left because of culture, not because of religion. Because religion encourages to get married as soon as possible with as little as possible. That's what religion, Islam encourages, so that there is less corruption in the society, right? First and second and third, all. Okay, when you are able to do all 4, when you're able to do
still
so,
have to have the
right?
circumstances.
But we have societies like that, and because of these actions, or because of these cultures and these cultural norms, right? Social ills are spreading.
So what happens in those high individual
Adultery,
men who are married?
adultery is widespread. Rape also happens.
Yeah.
Sexual frustration is high
Yeah.
because youngsters are not able to get married
Yeah.
when they should,
Yeah.
and there are problems like that. And this is happening in Muslim lands. Indeed, it's also happening in India.
So-
India has the same problem.
Sure.
It's happening in places like
So what you started, just to bring you back, is that you said that
mostly in conservative societies.
what you started was saying that Islam and the structure of Islam is a good solution to some of the problems such as rape and aggression, because it cuts out things like alcohol.
100%.
drugs,
That's what I'm
whatever.
saying.
However,
It's preemptive. It's preemptive and
what I'm
preventative.
saying is intrinsic into that kind of marriage structure actually causes more chance of the type of other types of social
No, it doesn't.
strife that
You haven't shown me anything. Well, for example,
you
what?
haven't shown me
Yeah.
a perfect Muslim society.
It never existed.
Right.
It will never exist because the law is perfect. The people are not. So the way people, what you do is you get close to perfection. You can aim to get close to perfection, and you can have a good society with good moral values and good system. But it will never be a utopia. It will never be perfect, and we never claim perfection.
Part of the moral.
I'll give you an example. Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Part of the moral fabric of Islam in the fact that you can have those owned, possessed by your right hand, i.e. the wives.
That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. I was just making that point.
Yeah.
That it was a moral structure that Islam gave that suited potentially the 6th, 7th century
And beyond.
And maybe beyond as well.
Yeah.
But also describes, as Muhammad says, is that the first caliph is the greatest Muslim caliph. So that is the kind of, maybe you're saying it's not perfect, but it's the best it could be at that time. No, not at any time.
As best as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Okay, because humans are not perfect. The law may be. And law can never be applied fully 100% because humans are not perfect. Humans will make.
Law.
Yeah, sorry?
It's God's law.
Yeah, God's law is perfect because it's God's law, right? And it is humans who are applying the law.
God knows us perfectly.
Yes.
And that's why He made those
And
laws.
God,
So
this is
those
why.
laws must be able to be applied perfectly.
First of all, let me explain. God does not expect perfection from us. He has told us, you are weak. You are not perfect. You will make errors. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad told us most humans, all humans in fact, he said, Kullu bani Adam khata wa khairul khata'in at-tawwabun. He said, all the children of Adam are sinners, all. And the best of sinners are those who repent. So we have been given this view of life, which is not perfectionist, but which is basically ambitious, which is very ambitious in the sense that we want to attain excellence. We may never be perfect, we have been told. We will never get to perfection, but we will attain excellence. We can have excellence.
But Muhammad says that everything is just descending.
Yeah.
It's getting worse and worse and worse. His caliph was the best, and the next one after that was better. Was not as good, and the
No,
next third
Khalif is not important. The system is.
The system
Individuals are not important. The system must stand. So long as the system lasts, and system means moral values that guide economy, that guide society, that guides military policy, that guides family policy, that guides treatment of children, treatment of parents, treatment of neighbors, treatment of environment, treatment of animals, treatment of trees, even your agriculture, policies that guide all of these things in life. Okay, this is the system. So long as the system is followed, you will prosper. And if you don't follow the system,
no one has been able to follow that system. As a
we got close to it. We created.
Yes, no one has been able to do it.
100%, absolutely agreed. But we got close to.
Because I think the system, if followed by the most learned people in the most purest way, can work. But actually, one of the biggest difficulties in any religion or any system is how prone it is to corruption. So if something is done in the most highest way, you could say idealistically,